everyone. Welcome back. Thank you for joining me. This is a general reading for March the 31st, 2021. Okay, let's get started. What messages are we going to receive tonight? Okay, I'm just going to take a moment. Just give me a sec here. Okay, so this is a very interesting reading so far. What I can see is that we have an individual who is in a leadership role, but that leadership role is going to be challenged by a conflict that will be a no-win conflict. It's lose-lose. As far as the situation looks, it appears that all of the outcomes from any choice will lead to a counterproductive consequence of some kind. Nothing productive will come. And the individual who is a leader in this situation is feeling very vexed by the fact that they can't make a choice that will be productive in their minds. Okay, so you could be the leader, or there could be a leader in your life that you're starting to see in a different way. So there could be someone in your life that you saw one way that was in your mind very positive, and now because of some sort of challenge or conflict, the truth of this individual is revealed, that perhaps they are more of a tyrant than a leader. Perhaps they are not actually collaborating, that they have their own agenda, and you've been playing a part in that agenda, maybe unknowingly, thinking that it was a collaboration. Now, if you happen to be this leader, if you're in a leadership position and right now you are feeling challenged to manage the leadership position due to a conflict, then what Spirit is saying to you right now is that this is a time for you to learn about who you are as a leader, who you are as a person in authority. Are you a tyrant? Are you compassionate? Are you a coward? Do you have boundaries? Do you let people walk all over you? What kind of a person of authority are you? What kind of person of leadership are you? What are your leadership skills? Or, again, as I said, it could be someone that you see, someone that you perceive as a leader in your life who you've always admired, and now you suddenly see something very different about them. Okay? Now, the overall mood hanging around you right now is the ideas around prosperity, safety, and order. It's the Nine of Pentacles, which is a very good card to have if you're worried about anything in the physical world. This card talks a lot about physical security, prosperity, and it's long-term, it's disciplined. It's sort of like you've reached a level where there's order and you feel safe, okay? And then challenging that is this Hierophant coming in here that is maybe challenging you in a new way because you're reconsidering things, you're shifting, you're healing yourself. You're starting to see that there are aspects of life that are truly sacred, and you're starting to understand some truths. And I would suggest that you're starting to understand truths about yourself, but you're also starting to understand truths about if there is someone in your life that you admire, and you're starting to see a truth about them, okay? And again, this is a shift in perspective about a person potentially, where you may have seen them one way, and now you're starting to see them in a different way, all right? Now, in your history, you have been known to be very assertive. You have been known to be very confident and also very able to express your vision, Okay? You've always been able to do that. You have the ability to really express yourself. All right? Once you know the truth, it's difficult for you to do anything other than express that truth. Okay? And as a result, you are very assertive. You may come off sometimes as being inflexible. People may see you sometimes as not really willing to compromise. But, it seems it's got two sides to it, having that level of feeling assertive to that point, and understanding that your passions must be expressed. I don't see that as a negative, but certainly in the face of conflict, if there is someone who is very assertive, then that might be tricky. It might be tricky for someone to be on your team if you're that assertive, right? And so you might not be the best team player. You might not be known for being a team player. Now, in the future, there does seem to be this unable to let go feeling. So, whatever's going on here in the present, it seems like you're going to put your foot down because you're very assertive, and you're going to take some different course of action around this leader that has, shown you a truth. Because you are searching for truth right now. You're very receptive to receiving truth right now. And so you're going to discover a truth about yourself or about someone you view as a leader. If it's about yourself, it's going to have to do with your leadership skills and your ability to manage conflict as a person in authority. If it's about someone else, it's sort of like the curtain's going to fall down, like the veil's going to be pulled back. The truth of this person in your life is going to be revealed. And it's going to cause you to have feelings of, I can't let go. And this card always reminds me, when it's in the reverse, of someone clinging to the shore. Like they're just not letting go. They're not getting in the boat. They're that kid almost having a tantrum on the side there, saying, I'm not going, and just not, like, refusing to cooperate and go with it. So now it's interesting because this card always makes me always think of travel. So I have this feeling that someone listening here tonight is, with the other cards here, it seems like whatever choice, it seems like whatever's happening in the present is going to cause you to have to make a choice that's going to be very difficult mentally. And it may involve not going somewhere. So it's sort of the opposite. Instead of taking a trip, you might actually refuse to go on a trip. If someone is saying, come on, let's do this, you might actually just say no and dig your heels in. And it could be because you are quite assertive and you assert yourself. This card is associated with the fire signs. So you do pursue your interests. And if something is not in your interests, you do not typically pursue it. So something is going to come up. It could be an offer of some kind. Maybe it's this leader. If you're resonating with the idea that there's a leader in your life who's going to sort of show you who they really are, they might come in with an offer that you have to refuse now that you know the truth, but you're going to resist. You're going to resist that. You might want to take the offer because, it's interesting. You might want to, but it's funny. You're going to refuse. You're going to refuse because of the truth. The truth is going to keep you from making a mistake, it seems. Not a mistake, but it seems like you're going to know. I say mistake because if you go into a situation believing that everything is one way and you go in and things don't turn out that way, that's one thing. But if you already have an inkling that something is not as it appears, and then the truth is revealed to you that yes, it's not as it appears, the truth was this all along, something else. And then under that new understanding, you're asked to make a decision. It might be tempting to want to just pretend you didn't realize that truth, because maybe this is something that your ego is really attached to and you don't want to let this go. You know, the more I think about it, the more I think this is about someone in your life who you see one way, and now you're starting to see the truth about them and you don't want to let go. You just don't want to let go. You want to be wrong. This is a situation where you're hoping you're wrong, right? Now, how you see yourself, it's interesting. You see yourself that you're surrounded by your soul tribe. You see yourself that you're in a position where you are with the people that love you, you know, and that you are in a good place. But the interesting thing is that others see you as someone who is inacting, like they're not active. They're not acting out what, like they're not walking the talk. They're talking, but they're not walking the talk. So other people see you as sort of talking about stuff, but maybe not doing anything about that stuff. But remember, that's just how other people see you. So you might be talking about stuff that you are doing stuff about, but they don't see it because it's inner stuff. Now, the interesting thing about the Ace of Wands when it's reversed, when it's not reversed, it's pointing up to the sky, which always to me suggests the outer world. So when it's reversed, to me, it suggests the inner world. So of course, the people on the outside might not see what you're up to because all the work you're doing is on yourself. You're doing a lot of inner work and you're taking care of you. So people might not see that because you're not, this card, the position of it is what what the outer world is seeing of you. And so the outer world is not seeing that. They're seeing, all that the outer world is seeing is that you're not doing something. So that sort of goes along with the idea of clinging to the shore. Now, the thing that you're hoping and fearing is the Death card. And the Death card, as most of us know, is the card of renewal and rebirth. It's the ultimate card of change. And it's what you want. You ultimately are hoping to change something about your life, but you're resisting the change now that it's here in the form of having to let go of something that you have an attachment to, right? You've formed an attachment to this leader, mentor, leader, father figure, someone that you know, has essentially fallen off the pedestal that you put them on. And a truth is revealed about them and you can't go back. You just can't go back. After you know the truth about the situation, you still are sort of hoping, no, these people love me. This is my soul tribe. And they might love you. It might not be about not loving you, but there's a truth you've learned here. We're going to try and clarify it, that just, you know, and it's going to change you. And you're hoping for that change, but you're scared for that change. You're scared of what it's going to do. Now, in the outcome, we see that there is a strong message of mental and verbal acceptance of a situation. There's action. There's a big movement here. We've got a very strong air sign force, which suggests mental strength. So whatever this rebirth is for you, you're heading into a place where you're going to feel very confident mentally, because you're going to have sort of sharpened your sword, if you will, through this experience in the present. And so, you know, the other thing is we got an 11th card, which I like getting the 11th card, because I always find that it gives a nice picture of the future, not just the outcome, but what's going to happen after the outcome. And you got the Page of Wands, which is a beautiful card to talk about new opportunities, a positive change, passion project. I always think passion project with the Page of Wands. It's that thing that, you know, it's like that book you've always wanted to write. It's that business you've always wanted to start. It's that painting you've always wanted to paint, or that that creative, you know, expression you've always wanted to learn. It's the guitar you've always wanted to learn to play, you know, whatever. It could be anything, but something really positive that's creative is going to come in, which really makes sense for you because you are a creative person. And whatever this truth you've learned about, it's going to be tricky to let go of, but you're going to have learned the truth. It's almost like you have to be careful what you ask for. Like if you want to know the truth and then you find out the truth, it's tricky to say, okay, forget it. I don't want to know that truth. That wasn't what I wanted to hear, and I'm shocked and I'm dismayed and I feel awful. I don't want to know that truth, so I'm going to cling to the shoreline and not go forward knowing that is the truth. Okay, so that's a tricky spot to be in, I understand, but it does seem like it's going to change you. If you can let go, there's a rebirth here. So that's very good news. Now, let's clarify some of this. I want to use the Oracle deck that I have designed. Woo! One flew out right away. It's just a prototype that I was designing, and I got it today, and I really got excited about wanting to use it. A card flew out right away. It's the card that Artist. I'll show it to you. Artist. So that makes sense because you've got a Page of Wands at the future outcome. Okay, so this could be an artistic project that you've always wanted to do, and you could be an artist and you didn't ever think you were, or you didn't give yourself that hat to wear because you thought, no, I'm no artist. Maybe you didn't have the confidence to see yourself as an artist. And now that sort of all the illusions in your life are breaking down, you're learning, hey, I am an artist. So that's fantastic. Are there any other clarification cards here? Oh, there's one in reverse, one flipped over. Oh, it's my version of the Death card, the end. So something does have to come to an end, you guys. Something has to come to an end for something new to come in. This Artist card comes in with the Page of Rods, and the End card comes in with the Death card to suggest, yes, you do need to let something go. Something needs to change. Actually, these can go right next to each other with the Five of Swords or Six of Swords in reverse. Any other clarification messages? Woo, one just flew out onto the floor. Actually, two flew out. Okay, we've got Earth sign. Now, we did have the Nine of Pentacles come up as the overall atmosphere or mood of your situation. So there is some prosperity here. You know, you've got the Earth sign energy, which is very grounding, and, you know, it really helps with the idea of security and stability and planning and physical security. Now, the card Shortcuts also came out. So this makes me think of this truth that you have learned that maybe you're going to try and deny. And there are no shortcuts, guys. And there's also, this could be on your journey through the Ace of Rods in reverse. There are no shortcuts. The journey through self-discovery has no shortcuts included. It's, you got to walk the whole thing. And you know, you always know that. You know that when you take a shortcut, you know that this might not go the way you think, right? So we've got to remember that walking the path is the point. The point is walking the path, right? Not getting to the outcome. The point is walking it. So why would you ever take a shortcut, right? We usually take shortcuts to avoid pain. You know, we don't want to suffer. Any other messages? Ooh, what did we get here? We got Guide. So this is interesting because you also got the Artist card. So you could be a leader in the art community. You could be a leader in the future as an artist. You know, whatever you're going to do, it's going to be guiding to others. Now, a few other cards popped out while I was shuffling. We have Silent, Shadow, Stuck, and Inner Riches. So what that tells me is that you need to speak your truth, and you're going to be healing a shadow side of yourself, which could have to do with what you do when you learn the truth about this situation. You're going to have to face a shadow. You could get stuck, like we revealed here, that you're going to be clinging to the shore and not wanting to let go. But it's important to remember that what's within is what's important. The inner riches, which is also talking, like we said, when the Ace of Wands is in reverse, it's pointing back at you. It's not pointing at the sky anymore. It's pointing inwards, because that's where the work is. The work has to be done on the inner level. Okay? So inner riches is meant to remind you that everything you need is already within. Okay, that's lovely, and I'm very happy to have used my new cards tonight. That was really fun. Okay, final words of encouragement, you guys. Let's use this deck. Final words of encouragement for this The Truth is Revealed reading. The truth is revealed. The truth has been revealed. Any final words of encouragement while we are dealing with learning this truth? Thank you. The hottest love has the coolest end. Isn't that the truth? Sometimes, you know, when we really, it's almost like that saying that you should never meet your idols. If you know, you should never meet the people that you hold up so high, because, you know, sometimes that love that burns that hot has a very cool end. Very true. Now, here's the other one. Your dreams can come true if you have the courage to pursue them. So, you know, careful of feeling sad and feeling that you are losing something. As we've been seeing in all of our readings lately, it's about perceived loss. Things gotta go, you guys. Things gotta go for new things to come in. I'm going to put that right next to the Death card and the reversed Ace of Wands. And I'm going to put the hottest love has the coolest end right under that Emperor in reverse, to remind you that when that illusion comes down, you know, it's okay. Sometimes when we have that super love for people, that's not really love. It's almost like, you know, you can't, if you put someone up on a pedestal, you are putting them in a prison. No one can live up to that. Everyone, we are all human. Everyone makes mistakes. Everyone does stuff that other people might think is questionable. I mean, it's not for us to judge, but when you put someone up on a pedestal, you are limiting the options that that person can ever, like, you know, you've limited them. You've just locked them in a cage, an unrealistic cage that is completely created by your perception of that person. It actually is not a loving thing to do, because it doesn't take into account that person, right? That person might want to leave that pedestal. It's a long fall, right? And so, yeah, this has been a very interesting reading. Okay, you guys, thank you for joining me. As always, I will be taking a picture so that you have a chance to reflect on these messages as well. And if you're interested in a personal reading, please contact me. My email is in the description below. We'll see you again for the next reading. Okay, have a great night.